clans, and of course it wouldn't necessarily work today. Like you see, I was gonna ask you this. Like you see, like FaZe and stuff. Like, what do you think of like FaZe? How they've been pushing out so many collabs. Like I think me and you just copped like the FaZe and Naruto collab like last week, and then 3-4 days later, I see they drop a Disney collab, and then the day after that, I see and the day after that, I see they're dropping a Manchester City thing, and then a Lyrical Lemonade thing, and I'm like, are they just doing like crazy quantity on purpose? Like I feel like they've lost their way a little bit, and I was interested in seeing what you think, because if you look at someone more like 100 Thieves, it seems like they're much more meticulous about choosing what they want to collab with, and that's probably props to like Nade Shot. Whereas FaZe, I mean, they went public, they have a massive international brand, but it seems like they're just losing the way, especially in the apparel side, of like quantity over quality.
Well, yeah, and it kind of just seems like they're like, well, you know, we have all these opportunities for collabs. Why not just put them all out at once? Like, not really putting any thought into it. Well, and back to the Naruto collab, the one thing that kind of bothered me with that, like it was good, but a lot of the designs were designs that had already been put out. They just like put the FaZe logo on there. So for me, I was like, damn, they didn't really put a whole lot of creativity in that, where they getting that ability to merchandise that is huge. Like, why not, you know, build on that and do your own original thing with that, and take full advantage of having the capability of, you know, having a collab like that, because truly it's like almost a blessing to be able to, you know, partner with Bandai or whatever and be able to do that and legally and rep Naruto. Like, I don't know, if I could do that with a brand, like I would want to take my time, sit down, and really have a constructed, well thought out drop of all different things.
Well,
but I mean, I like the keyboard stuff that they did, like, and they're kind of doing some accessories, but it's just all focused, it seems like, on just putting out t-shirts or like putting out just like stuff that people will buy like real quick. And
well, that's where
like
I have
you
to
said,
commend,
it's not
like,
quality over quantity.
Yeah, well, that's why I have to commend like 100 Thieves, because they dropped. Well, for one, it's really hard to get their shit, especially the good shit, because it sells out because people know it's scarce. But also, they're putting out like diverse products with like collaborations that are meaningful, right? So like, let's just take the Attack on Titan collab, for example. Like they dropped, like you said, they're not just dropping a bunch of random fucking t-shirts and stuff. They dropped like that denim jacket and like like the sick jackets and stuff like that, and just like real, like it feels like a brand. It feels like an apparel brand. It feels much more like something that's scarce, something like you have to get, like you'd be proud to wear. Whereas FaZe is just so much out there. FaZe feels more like a sports team, like with how accessible it is and how much quantity, and it's so vast. Whereas 100 Thieves feels like a brand, like something that's more culturally relevant. I don't know if that's the word to say, because FaZe is obviously more culturally relevant at the moment, but 100 Thieves just feels like they're doing it a bit better from a consumer perspective.
I definitely agree. 100 Thieves does it a lot better, just as far as they don't seem like they're rushing a bunch of products out to the market. I mean, one thing that you can tell that 100 Thieves manages their money very well as a company, and like they're in a very good place. But FaZe's overall model, it just makes me think that they are not like doing well financially, and that's why they're running it the way that they are, and that they're just trying to, you know, make as much money as fast as possible, and they really don't care about how they're doing it.
To drop 3 or 4 collabs within a month is ridiculous.
Which it might not be like that. Like they probably could be fine with money, but that's what most business, when you see like especially clothing companies doing the pre-order, like, you know, you buy a shirt and then you won't get it for like 4 to 6 weeks. Like that's generally, you see that on startups, because they don't have the capital and don't want to put up, you know, how many ever hundreds of dollars it's going to be to, you know, get your products in line and then have it ready for the drop, ready to ship for people. But like I said, you see that with startups a lot. You don't really see that with, like, you shouldn't see that with somebody like FaZe, who has very clearly been here for, you know, over a decade and has a very big name in this. Like, they should kind of be doing it more with the consumer in mind. Instead, it seems like they have more their own selfishness in mind. But
well, disclaimer, we're obviously talking about the fashion and apparel aspect. We
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
We don't know shit about like the global branding and the content and stuff like that. We're
Nope.
strictly talking like fashion and design and apparel and
And
stuff
we
like
love
that.
FaZe. I love FaZe. I'm just saying, no hate
I mean, we
at
just
all.
bought the
I
drop,
literally
so
love FaZe.
we
Yeah.
just bought the drop. They got us.
But I'm just saying, I've definitely been a part of a lot of like startups, and that's how they always go. Like we always, do the pre-order of things, and that's just like you get a sample made, and then you get some pictures of somebody wearing the sample, and then you make that and put it on the website and take your pre-orders, and
Yeah.
that just it helps with production and not being overstock and anything like that. But
Yeah.
hey, we don't know shit at the end of the day about the
Yeah.
FaZe model.
Well, it feels like I like how 100 Thieves feels like they have like that brand identity, and it's funny because 100 Thieves really is just like an embodiment of like whatever Nadeshot enjoys. Because you have like the
Right.
anime, and then you have like golf, and then you have like they just bought that hardware company, High Ground, the keyboards.
Oh, what? I didn't
Yeah,
even
it's
see
like
that.
it's a keyboard company, and they do like custom keyboards with keycaps and like
Oh,
all this.
that's
It's
sick.
so fire. It's fire.
That's sick.
But you could tell it's like really just an embodiment of Nadeshot, which is also further an embodiment of like all of Nadeshot's fans and like around the brand that he's grown. But no, it's
Right.
FaZe it feels like they definitely lost like the brand identity. Whereas now it's more like a multinational conglomerate, it feels like.
Yeah. And like you can tell, especially when they do all those collabs, like those are like a Disney collab, that's huge. Like,
That's
can you
insane.
imagine? Like,
Yeah.
that's insane. To even be able to get that, like, is that in itself is amazing. Like, they're definitely, they're still doing amazing things, and they're still like like going to be taking over big parts of this industry. But like, I don't know, they like you said, they just don't really, maybe they just don't care as much about that brand identity.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
So like how did